All right, so today we're diving into something, well, something a little different. A podcast that basically takes the rule book for polished, perfect content and just tosses it out the window. It's called The Jimmy James Show. And if you're feeling kind of burnt out on everything looking and sounding the same online, you might want to stick around. This is for anyone looking for something raw, something chaotic, and honestly, something deeply human.
So, right off the bat, the show's own tagline tells you almost everything you need to know. This is not your standard or run-of-the-mill comedy podcast. It literally promises insanity. That one word is your first clue that you're about to step into a really, really different kind of listening experience.
And then he doubles down on it. The show's description is basically a challenge. It dares you to try to understand the insanity. See, this isn't something you just put on as background noise while you're doing chores. It's asking for your attention. It's asking you to engage and try to make sense of what's going on in the host's mind. It's a journey, for sure, and we're going to try to map it out a bit.
Okay, so to get this show, you really have to get the guy making it. The entire project is basically just an extension of his personality, his own struggles, his unique way of seeing the world. So before we go any further, let's meet Jimmy James. Now look at this list. This is how he describes himself. And what's so fascinating is the mix, right? You've got crazy person and idiot right next to a hint of OCD and a gigantic splash of ADHD. He's not hiding from these labels or asking for pity. He's owning them completely. And for anyone listening who deals with this stuff day in and day out, this is huge. He's saying, yeah, this is my brain. This is how it works. His mental health isn't some flaw he's trying to hide. It's the very source code of the show. He's not just a guy talking about ADHD. The show is what it feels like to have ADHD. The tangents, the hyperfocus, the chaos. If you know, you know. And hearing that out loud can be incredibly validating.
So, what happens when you take that exact personality we just talked about, stick a microphone in front of him, and put him in his basement? Well, you get the heart of the show, the basement ramblings. And here it is, the show's promise laid out bare. It is what it is. He's going to sit down and just talk. And yeah, there's going to be cursing, a lot of it. This isn't a character he's playing. It's like he's letting you plug directly into his thought process. 1 minute he's on a hilarious story, the next it's something deeply personal, and then bam, he's on a tangent about something you never saw coming. For a neurotypical brain, it might feel like whiplash. But if your brain already jumps around like that, it can honestly feel like coming home. But hold on, because he argues it's not just rambling. He's actually created a term for his style, rap-lit style poetry. And look at this definition. It's all about emotional swells and building intensities. But the most important part, the real key, is that last phrase, for you people with mentally challenged brains. He is consciously creating an art form for an audience whose brains might work a bit differently. He's not asking you to follow a straight line. He's building a whole new kind of structure that's all about feeling and association. It's like he's saying, hey, this chaos, it has its own logic, and you're the ones built to understand it. And then, just when you're thinking, wow, this is actually some pretty deep artistic stuff, he hits you with this. After a whole thing about the alphabet and his ADHD, he just lands on 1 + 1 = me, and then this totally manic laughter. And you're just left there going, what just happened? That's the show in a nutshell. That whiplash between something that feels profound and something that feels completely off the wall, that's the ride you sign up for. It is never, ever boring. Okay, so with all this talk of chaos and insanity, you might be thinking it's all just for shock value, but it's not. If you scratch below the surface of the cursing and the manic energy, you find there's a really clear, heartfelt mission driving this whole thing. And this is it. This is the heart of the matter. For all the wild talk, the show's real purpose is so simple and so kind. It's about connection. It's about him using his own voice to reach out to anyone else who's feeling lost or just having a rough time. This mission is the anchor that holds the whole chaotic ship together. And this is why the show hits so hard for so many people. He's not a doctor, he's not a therapist, he's just a fellow traveler. He talks openly about his own anxiety, his own ADHD, not as something he's conquered, but as something he lives with every day. And by doing that, he makes this space where it's okay to not be okay. It's not therapy, it's something else. It's peer support, it's radical relatability. And he even gives out his contact info for people who need to talk. I mean, that's just incredible. It's about letting you know you're not alone in this fight. Now, this whole thing isn't just some short-term experiment he tried for a few months. No way. Despite how raw it is, this is a long-term project, a real commitment that has had its own journey of growth and change over the years. I mean, just look at that number. Over 281 episodes since 2020. That is a serious amount of work and dedication. To show up that consistently, especially when you're open about your own mental health struggles, is just wow. It really proves how much this project and the people who listen to it mean to him.
And this timeline really shows you the arc of it all. He starts in 2020, just grinds it out for years, and then he takes a break, a nearly year-long, much-needed break. For a show that's all about mental health, seeing the host actually practice that kind of self-care is a powerful message in itself. It's authentic. And now he's back, and he's not just repeating himself. He's exploring new tools, playing with AI, still finding ways to grow as a creator. It's a journey, and he's taking everyone along with him. So after all that, looking at the host, the style, the mission, we get to the most important question. Is this show actually for you? Let's try to break it down. Think of this as your little guide. If you are just so tired of perfectly curated content and you want something that feels real, this is it. But be warned, the language is very explicit. If you deal with ADHD or anxiety and want to hear someone who just gets it without any sugarcoating, you're going to find a home here. But you have to be cool with the fact that episodes are unstructured and can go on for a long time. At the end of the day, this show is for anyone who is craving a genuine human connection, warts and all. It's absolutely not for everyone, and that is exactly the point. And that really leaves us with this final thought. In a world that's so full of filters and polished perfection that it can make you feel kind of alone, maybe, just maybe, the raw, chaotic, and deeply human insanity of a show like this is exactly the kind of authenticity we need more of. Maybe it's the thing that reminds us we're all just figuring it out as we go. But hey, that's for you to decide.